Well, hello once again to all my loyal YouTube subscribers. Welcome back to my world of classic dirt bikes. Now, in this particular video, we're going to take a short look at Richie McFadden's 1977 AW 400 Maico Twinshocker. Now, Richie from Dunoon on the west coast of Scotland races this machine with the Scottish Twinshock Scramble Club in the pre-1977 class. Now, the bike was bought by Richie in 2012 from a fellow Scottish Twinshock Club rider, and Richie raced it for the very first time in 2013. It's been a great little bike, Richie says, and very quick, and has won Richie the pre-1977 championship in 2014 and 2015. Now, prior to racing this 1977 400 Maico, Richie used to race Spanish Bultacos, and until he was then very quickly converted to these old classic Twinshockers. Now, I'm sure you don't need me to tell you the most striking thing about this machine when you first set eyes on it is, of course, this quite radical yellow paint job on both the wheels. Now, I'm sure that this is not to all classic dirt bike riders' tastes, and some may even disapprove of the bright powder coated yellow colour. But at the end of the day, this is Richie's bike, and he has put his own personal stamp on his own machine. So really, if Richie likes it, then who cares what anybody else thinks? That's what makes his own bike very unique to him. Now, although Richie says the bike is absolutely superb while on the track, although one of the bad experiences Richie has had with this 400 Maico since he's owned it was that he left the sump plug loose at a race event, whereby, of course, major engine damage then ensued, and he was left with a massive bill of £700 to help him remember to check it in future. Now, all the plastics, including the side panels, the mudguards, etc., were all sourced from Bill Brown at Willsport in Cumbria here in the UK, and the graphics were supplied by Alan Reid at MXM Graphics, which are also based here in Scotland. Now, the yellow Maico hubs and spokes were powder coated by ESP Powder Coatings in Glasgow. Now, the engine on this particular bike is just your standard 1977 400 motor, although Richie has opted to use a Czechoslovakian Zhikov carburetor rather than the normal standard Bings. Richie thought that these Zhikov carbs give this engine the best performance compared to using other units. And Richie said he tried many different makes of carburetor on this engine, and the Zhikov carb was the one that he found suited this 400 piston motor best. Now, the exhaust is an American import from Rick Doughty's Vintage Iron Emporium over there in the USA, and the bike has also had a set of replacement wide foot pegs from Racebase, who are of course based here in the UK. Now, Richie said that this old Maico was a great machine to ride, and he had attained some really good results and even championship successes on the bike since he's owned it. But the bike these days is hardly used at all, as he now prefers to race his 1981 250 Maico as his current race bike. Now, of course, these 1977 AW 400 Maicos were mega bikes back in the day, when you had the likes of German works rider Adolf Weil riding these machines on the Grand Prix circuits, and of course the AW in the machine's definition was named after Adolf Weil. Now, normally this is where Richie's 400 Maico can be found these days, and not racing on the track. Richie has decided to use the machine as a piece of interior decoration in his front room, and I know many of you classic dirt bike riders out there will be saying, get that bike back on the track where it belongs. Now unfortunately no startup clip for this bike, as I know my loyal YouTubers enjoy hearing these bikes fire up after looking at the component parts of the featured bike, although as I continually say, it's not always feasible for me to capture the bikes running, as many of these videos are captured early in the morning in the paddock, and there are curfews in place on starting machines until after a certain time of day. But I always endeavour to let you hear them running whenever possible, so please bear with me. So there you have it, a very brief look at Richie McFadden's 1977 AW 400 Maico. Now coming up on my YouTube channel soon will be footage from the 2019 Classic Dirt Bike Show in Telford. This video was brought to you in association with Wallsport Motocross Race and Leisure Wear, and also in association with VMX Magazine, the world's undisputed #1 publication for all your vintage and classic dirt bike motorcycles.